Welcome dear students, myself Geeta Kadam, and today we are going to learn about second part in our chapter number 3 in history. The name of the chapter is Effects of British Rule. So let us see about it. Students, in the previous part we saw how the Britishers established their power on Maratha territory, means how the Britishers captured the Maratha empire or territory. Beside that, we also saw about the subsidiary alliance system and dual government system. And important one, that is parliamentary laws. But here in this video, we are going to learn about the following points. First is pillars of British administration system. And second point, economic policies of the British. So let us see. First point is pillars of British administration system. See students, with the emergence of British rule in India, the Britishers developed a new administrative system in our India for their own convenience. And now we have to see about that new administrative system which Britishers developed in India. There are the 4 pillars of that administration system. There are the 4 pillars of British administration system. One is civil services, second one is military, third one is police force, and fourth one is judicial system. So these 4 were the pillars of British administration system: civil services, military, police force, and judicial system. On that basis, on these were the pillars. On that basis, Britishers smoothly governing or administrating on our India. Now students, we have seen each one of them in detail. Let's start with the first, that is civil services. Civil services. To strengthen the British rule in India, there was a need of bureaucrats. And Lord Cornwallis, he introduced the bureaucracy in India at first. But student, what is mean by bureaucracy? See, bureaucracy, it's a way of administration. Bureaucracy, it's one of the way of administration. Under it, a large number of people who need to work together, or it's a system of government in which most of the important decisions are taken by the states. Okay, so it is a way of administration. So Lord Cornwallis, he introduced that system, bureaucracy system, and civil services became an important part of the British government. Okay, under the bureaucracy, civil services became an important part of British government. He restricted the private trade which carried out by the company's officers, means East India Company's officers, and for this purpose he increased their salary. Because earlier we saw that because of the monopoly of trade of East India Company officers, the money in the form of taxes which went into the pocket of that company's officers, means because of that corruption, to stop that corruption, he restricted the private trade to carry out by the company officers, and for this purpose he increased their salary. He increased the salaries of the East India Company's officers. Now, beside that, for the convenience of administration, he divided the British occupied territories into districts. Okay, he divided the occupied means British captured territories into the different districts, and every districts had a district collector. Okay, the district collector was the chief of district administration. See students, every district having a district collector, and that district collector was the chief of district administration. Means he was the head of that district. So what was his work or responsibility? So the district collector, he was responsible for collection of revenue. Revenue means tax. Giving justice, maintaining law and order, like that. Means the district collector is responsible to their district. And students, the officers were appointed through the competitive exams. Okay, the officers means the district collector and any other officers who helped the Britishers for their administration. So these officers, okay, means they are the civil servants. They were appointed through the competitive exams. So this competitive exams known as Indian Civil Services, ICS. ICS means I means Indian, C means civil, and S means services. ICS means Indian Civil Services. And students, do you know the first Indian to join the Indian Civil Services was Satyendranath Tagore, the elder brother of Rabindranath Tagore. And until the 1930s, the Indians in the service were very few and were not given the high post by the British because they want the administration under their own control. Okay. Now the second pillar of British administration system is military. The duty of military was to safeguard the British occupied region in India. Okay, the duty of British military was to safeguard the British occupied means region, means the areas which British captured, to keep safe. Okay, that is the main duty. Beside that, to acquire the new territories. Acquire means to capture the new territories and to break down any revolt against the British in India. Means if any of the place or region in India were under the British control and the revolt is going on in that place, so to break down that revolt against the Britishers, to keep the British safe, to keep the British Empire safe in India. That is the duty of military. Now the next one is, third one is police force. The third pillar of British administration system is police force. To maintain law and order in the country was the duty of police force. Okay, to maintain law and order in the country or in the British occupied territory or region was the main duty of police force. Now the fourth and the last pillar of British administration system in India was judicial system. See students, the British established a new judicial system in India on the basis of judicial system in England. Means on the basis of judicial system in England, Britishers started a new judicial system in our India. And as per this system, every district had two types of courts. One is civil court and second one is criminal courts. Civil courts carrying the family issues and criminal courts carrying issue regarding the crimes. So like that, the civil and criminal courts were established to solve the local cases. And for reconsideration of their judgments, a high court was also established. Means for reconsideration. Reconsideration means for rethink about the judgment of civil and criminal courts. High court was also established. And high court, it's like a supreme level of court. Now, Britishers also follow the policy of equality before the law. So what is mean by equality before the law and how Britishers followed in our country, that we have to see now. See students, in earlier time, means before the British, law in our India, it's different from place to place. Every place having there are different types of laws. And there was a differences in the judgment on the basis of casteism. Okay, there was a differences in the judgment on the basis of casteisms, because that time we followed the caste system. So as per the caste systems, every caste followed the different type of the judgment. And Britishers want to change that situation. And that's why Britishers set up Law Commission. British made a law commission for changing this type of system in India. And the first law commission was established in 1834 by the British government under the chairmanship of Lord Macaulay. Now this committee was set up to create the code of law. This committee was set up to create the code of law, which based on the simplified codification of the law of England at that time. Okay, this committee was set up to create the code of law, which was based on the simplified codification. Codification means given code to every law. And this Indian Penal Code was enforced all over the British India with British principle of equality before the law. Now students, there were some defects in it. So which were it that we see? The first one is that Britishers want to follow the policy of equality before the law. Okay, the principle of equality before the law, it is only for the Indians. There were separate codes and different laws for Europeans. Okay, the second one is the new laws which made for Indians were difficult to be understood by the common people. Okay, as per the Indian Penal Code, the new laws which made for Indians, which were difficult to understand for the Indian peoples. And the third defect is legal cases become so much of expensive, the common people have to suffer. Okay, the legal case become an expensive affairs for the community, and for getting the justice, people have to spend a lot of money, and the cases were also remain pending for years together. And because of that defect, Indians were not satisfied. Second point is economic policies of the British. See students, since the ancient time, there were many inventions in India. We saw that in the previous standard, we saw that the Turk, then the Mughals, how they were ruled on us, how they attacked on our India. So many inventors, they attacked on our India and settled. Among them, some were settled in India and were absorbed in the Indian culture. Okay, means like Mughals, when they were attacked on India, after that they settled in India and they were absorbed in the Indian culture. They mixed with our culture, Indian culture. And even though they ruled here, they never made any changes in the basic Indian economic system. Okay, they never made the changes in the basic Indian economic system. But Britishers were an exception. When Britishers ruled on us, they started to changing our basic economic system. How? See, as we know, students, England was a modern nation, and due to the Industrial Revolution, capitalist economy prevailed. Prevailed means proved more powerful. Okay, because of the Industrial Revolution, the capitalist economy were more powerful in England. Hence, they inculcated an economic system in India. Britishers inculcated means creating problem to the economic system in India. Why? Because they want to increase, to create their own economy more powerful. Okay, and that's why Britishers inculcated the economic system in India, which was conducive to the economic system in England. Conducive means beneficial. Okay, so due to this, Britishers gained economic benefit, but India started facing the economic exploitation. Okay, because of the Britishers in economic policies, India started facing the economic exploitation. So, about how the Indians started facing the economic exploitation, that we have to see in the next video. Now, students, let us do one activity. First question is complete the chart. First one is pillars of British administration in India. Which are the pillars of British administration in India? Yes, first one is civil services. Second one is military. Third one is police force. And fourth one is judicial system. Now the second question is, this court was established for reconsideration of judgment of the district court. This court was established for reconsideration of judgment of district court. The answer is yes, High Court. Now second question is, name the following. Who was the chief of district administration? Yes, district collector. And second one is, who introduced the bureaucracy in India at first? Yes, Lord Cornwallis. Thank you.